Oh, look, I just want to say from myself, thank you so much for coming and doing this, right? Because it has been awesome.
This is the uncoverings of the MOORS murders. In the house search of Brady and Hindley, there was a book found that was owned by Brady, and it had names in it. And it had like famous actors' names, like Alec Guinness in it, and it had all sorts of different names in it. But one name that stood out was the name John Kilbride.
Okay.
John Kilbride at the time was missing for a missing kid for 2 years. So this is when Inspector Mousey, I just want to big up Inspector Mousey because Terry would want that.
Yeah.
When they got the confession for Edward Evans' murder from Brady, there was 3 police forces involved. It was like Hyde, Ashton, Manchester, as they were all known then. And one of the police officers said, like, when John Kilbride's name was found in the book, the police officer was like, Mousey said, well, this is, this could lead on here. They're obviously involved in John Kilbride's death. Let's, go furthermore into this. And they were like, well, we've already got the confession of Edward Evans. He'll do life for that. And Mousey's like, Mousey, what about John Kilbride? And what about if that name's in the book and there's other missing children? What about any other missing children? This is where Inspector Mousey actually linked Brady and Hindley to John's disappearance. Now, also found this is where Myra then couldn't quite. She got kind of brought back in again because she was just walking the street. She was free. They're in the house and they found a body disposal plan for Edward Evans. And to paraphrase, it said, make sure all evidence is removed. Make sure and this was the big thing that kind of pinpointed Myra to have involvement. It said it had instructions on how to remove the body and how to clean the car, right? So I remove any evidence. And Mousey said, Brady doesn't even drive, right? Why is Myra walking the streets? The other officers are saying she's not involved. There's no evidence towards it. And he goes, but it says here, clean the car after disposal. He went, how can she not be involved? Brady didn't drive. How can she possibly not be involved? It's her bloody car.
Yeah.
So that's when she gets brought back in again.
See.
So that's when they've kind of got them both. That's when they've got them both sat down, and they're interviewing them both here.
Yeah, I imagine the sigh of relief and the smile quickly evaporated from Myra's face when she got dragged back in, because of course, like exactly as you said in episode 1, or maybe it was episode 1, you talked about it was Myra's car. She would often, at that time, you wouldn't suspect a woman. These younger individuals would be less inclined to be concerned about a couple.
More about that car is that, and more about Brady not driving, just to recap, is that she is the one that lured them into her own vehicle, and she drove the kids to, in Leslie and Downey's case, to their house. But in the case of Keith Bennett, which we'll get to down the line, and John Kilbride, she's the one that took them to the MOORS. Pauline Reed, she took them to the MOORS, and she was going to drive Edward Evans to the MOORS. There was no way Brady could have done this. Brady had a motorbike. She would drive a car down the road, and he would be behind in his motorbike. And if he saw a victim of his, that he liked the look of, if you will, looking for a better expression, he would flash his motorbike light, and then she would then know, right, that's a signal. I need to pick that particular child up. So that's how they got Pauline Reed. That's how they got Keith, I believe. She was the one that drove them up there. So that's how they then, with this body disposal plan and the driving them up to the MOORS, that's how they got Myra in. Now, moving on, the police questioned Dave, and Dave said that Brady, in previous conversations, had bragged that he'd killed people, not children, but killed people, and he'd buried them on Saddleworth Moor. And that Dave had actually stood on the graves of the victims.
Oh my God! Now he's going to have to try and remember them all. Is that where this is going? Because that's a freaking honestly, like.
Well, he was took back there, yeah.
Wild.
He was took back up there.
Carry on with the story. That's just my intrusive thoughts. Carry on, mate.
Well, he does have to go back up there, but he's like, I can't remember it. It's look at the size of it. It's massive.
Mate,
It's
honestly, yeah. It's
so after more questioning, Dave said that Myra had said something about left luggage. Now that spiked the interest of Mousy. Left luggage. Where could we be going with this? So the further search of the house, they found in the spine of a Bible of all the books, they found like a ticket for left luggage. You know, like a big locker or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was for Manchester Central Station. It's more commonly known as the GMEX, like a big concert kind of place. But it used to be a railway station, and that's where they found suitcases. Now these suitcases had all of the evidence in there.
Okay.
Including, by the way, all of this information. And Ron, if you just click onto my channel on Memento, if you don't mind.
I do not.
Onto the play. Oh yeah, I interviewed Sean last week. I never mentioned that before. But yeah, if you go onto the playlist, that should stay at that timestamp. Yeah, that playlist there. Anyone that wants to see all the content I've done on the MOORS murders, if you go over to my channel, Break the Ice, hit subscribe and go to the MOORS murders playlist. There's loads of content there. I've done.
It's actually Break the Ice 123. If you're atting at his channel, it's break. You'll find it under Break the Ice if you type it in. But if you're atting at the channel, it's Break the Ice 123.
I've done lots and lots of content. I've probably done the most content. Out of anybody with directly with a victim's family member.
Yeah, you have some of your content is underseen. Some of it is bonkers. The interviews you've got and all that stuff. It's really good. Obviously, you've got. Let me just put the simping in for you. You've got your big hitter, which was your interview with the one and only Wedger. But it's Nicola Bully. This is your next feather in your. I mean, look at that cinematography right there. Look at that.
That was a good free camera setup. That one.
Yeah, man. So go and check it out because you take the time to tell a story in the proper way, bit of B-roll. Do you know what I'm saying? I appreciate.
Yeah, I like to do my research. Do you know what I mean? And the
research too.
That always helps.
Do that too.
The Nicola, I know, but just quickly on that Nicola Bully video, that was I had 3,000 subscribers when that got 250,000 views. So
do you know what annoys me is when people watch something and then don't hit subscribe. I think for channels on YouTube, if you put out a video that's over, say, an hour long, right? I think 15 minutes in to watch the rest of it, you should have to subscribe to the channel. And I think that would help channels grow astronomically.
That is.
I know. Put me in charge of the planet for half an hour. I dare you. See how much I fix. I'm just saying. Okay.
That is a shit hot idea. So yeah, if you do want to go and check out.
1 second. The Moors are a place. It's called the Moors Murders because it took place on a moor. If you don't know this case,
Moor, North Manchester.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, your Nicola Bully stuff is another one of your heavy hitters, and I imagine a lot of people. I think even if you consider yourself and you're not in the UK a true crime buff, I think the Nicola Bully one's a good one for you to jump into because
absolutely
you've done extensive work with key individuals.
Well, Peter Falding is a friend of mine now, and he's the person that I did the exclusive interview with Peter Falding on him declaring that he found Nicola Bully in the river.
Yeah,
and that was a.
Don't tell them anymore. Don't tell them anymore. That's the hook. Listen,
get over to the channel if you're interested in any of this content. Subscribe to the channel. go to the playlist and it's all there. But I'd really appreciate you checking out some content. Right, back to where we were, Mr. Swanson. Right.
Like and subscribe, please share. And the 10-hour loop of me just saying Moors over and over is coming soon. All right, take us. Do you want me to play this? Is this where we're playing? Or
No. We'll hold it. Right. So, right, we're now talking about the suitcases. Okay. So trigger warning right now, yeah. You can you hear me, Ron?
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. Trigger warning.
So just got a trigger warning for people because, like, what's inside these suitcases is it's heavy, it's disturbing, and wow, yeah, it's not nice what I'm gonna skirt over here with these suitcases. Lots of evidence was found inside them. Now, the most damning was pictures of Leslie Ann Downey.
Oh,
Leslie Ann Downey was a missing girl. She went missing on Boxing Day, 1964. She was snatched from a fair in Ancoats, and by Hindley, of course. Brady was lurking in the shadows, and there was pictures. What I tell you, what you would probably categorize in the same way as those Hugh Edwards ones. Really, now they were she was in certain poses. She was bound, she was gagged, and those pictures were in there. Now, what's more disturbing is there was a reel-to-reel record player, right? Now, for anyone who's hey up, Matty. There's someone in the chat that I know. Yes, Matty. Right. So, for anyone, where was I? So, I just lost me, Fred. I shouldn't look at the chat.
You were up to, there was a reel-to-reel. It was a reel-to-reel movie. I'm assuming that's what.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Right. There's a reel-to-reel now. For anyone that really does know already about the MOORS murders, and you've come here because you're interested in the case, this reel-to-reel, there's a song on it, and anyone that knows about this case, it's Little Drummer Boy. You know that Christmas song that goes bum 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 like that. Please don't play it. It's horrific, right? But this song, the reason why a lot of people that know of the case will hate this song is because it was played over uh, over the recording of her while she was being basically tortured.
Oh, man.
So that's why, like with Terry, when he said,
thank you for the heads up of that. I was only half paying attention, I think, when I
people are saying there, Little Drummer Boy, yeah. So Terry said as well, like when that comes on at Christmas, he has to turn it off. There's various versions. There's one with like there's one with like Bowie and all sorts, but it's the original big band one. Now, this recording of Leslie, it had her pleading for her life. It had her saying, "Please let me go." And it do you know whose voice was heard predominantly on this tape?
It was Myra.
Myra
Right?
Hindley.
Yeah.
It was Myra Hindley, right? It was her voice, and she was saying, "Do this, do that." There's a transcript. If you want to look at thank the Lord, right? The recording does not. It's not out there. Lots in the archive. You've got the transcript. If you want to zoom in on that, go for it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I'd zoom.
Yeah, someone just said, yeah. Matt, we know, mate, we're on it. Right. There you go. So, man. And this is exactly what. And by the way, this was played in court, and it brought fully grown, long-serving police officers and adults to tears. So look at that woman in the middle. Shut up. And then the child. Oh, child crying. Keep and you'll be all right. Woman, hush, go on. Myra denied all involvement in the MOORS murders. Yet she's on this tape. She's saying there's a part where she says something like behave or I'll lose myself and crack you on, something like that.
Yeah, shut up or
That's
I'll
it.
report myself
That's
and
it.
hate
Yeah.
you.
So Myra Hindley was incriminated right there, right then. You know what I mean? She still tried to deny it. Like crazy, psychotic, delusional behavior. So she was on that tape. Now, what's Oh yeah, do you know I have
Damn.
to say about that tape as well. So right, okay. Well, let me go into the next bit, and then we'll be going back into talking about that tape in a bit, regards to Leslie's mother. Poor woman. So basically, bang to rights. They've got the name of John. They've got the images of Leslie, and they've got the recording of Leslie and the voices of Brady and
Yeah.
Hindley. Bang to rights. Also, they found loads of pictures of them on the moors, but they were, for example, there's a picture of Myra Hindley with her dog, holding her dog, and she's kneeling and she's looking down. Now Mousy,
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah.
Mousy, the kind of brilliant officer that he was, Inspector Mousy, the great inspector that he was, he started putting things together, and he was like, right, we've got these names, we've got a murderer here, we've got Dave saying that this person has said he's killed people and buried them on the moors.
Yeah.
Now we've got pictures of Myra looking down at the ground, smiling. Why?
We know why.
What? Yeah, exactly. Why? But it was Mousy. I got to keep shouting, Mouse. Look at that tree. Told you about that tree, didn't I? It starts glowing up.
Oh,
Um,
it looks like there's a face peering between the two branches. Please
don't shit.
confirm to the audience that is not a white. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that it does look like a man in a scream mask.
um. So yeah, they were looking down at the ground, and I can't, for even just for Terry's sake here, I want to like really shout this man out, Mousy, because he was the one that other police forces would have just give up and gone, oh, we've got the confession for Edward Evans. Let's just bang him up for that. But he was putting all the dots together, and he he sat Hindley and Brady down, and he's like, why is Myra looking down at the ground? And Brady said, you've got to ask her. And he said, well, I'm asking a photographer. Right, type in,
Yeah, I'm with
find the
you.
picture, Myra Hindley, grave, and I'll show you which one it is. What is GMT?
Yeah, I
Yes,
found it.
Greenwich Mean Time. That's for the time we're in. Mr. Balding. What a name, by the way. Shout out. Right, okay. Right. So that picture there, the one on the right in particular,
Yeah, this one.
that is Myra Hindley looking down, kneeling on John Kilbride's grave.
Oh my, it's so dark. Like
Dark as night.
when you only know the super cut down version of the story, like how I knew it before we came into this, it was dark, right?
Now it's darker, isn't it?
Well, it's serious, bro. Please make sure you like and share, everyone. Thank you very much for being here, and please continue. Luke.
You're still there. You dipped out then a bit.
No, I'm still here.
All right, cool. Right, yeah. So that's her looking down at the ground, right? So Inspector Mousy thought that they were marking the graves with all the information that he'd already had, which he was right. So he sat down with Brady, and he said, "Are these graves?" And he said, "I must have admired the composition. Do you know what I mean of the area?"
Yeah.
And he said, "But what about and in one of Brady's books, it said, I'm paraphrasing, killing is a supreme pleasure." And there was all these kind of quotes that Brady had put, and he said, Brady said it's just fiction, it's just it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And he said, Dave said that you've killed people and buried them on the moors. And he said, it's fiction. And he said, well, I've got 3 police forces digging up your fiction right now. Imagine hearing that.
What a line. What a line.
A absolute banger. I've got 3
Yeah.
people digging up your... And I said to Terry Kilbride, because these quotes are featured in See No Evil, the Moors Murders on ITVX. Don't know why I'm plugging ITV, but...
Yeah, I keep meaning to watch that. I really do.
Go and watch it, mate. Because I said to Terry, how does this depict the actual real events? And he went, bang on.
Yeah, the woman that plays Myra is an actual incredible actress. Like, I've not seen it yet, but I know who she is.
Peake. It's Maxine Peake, yeah. But also, you've got Joanne Froggatt, who's Downton Abbey, massive actress. She played Maureen, Mary's sister.
Yeah, I imagine it's just for, if anyone's seen the Savile series and what the actor that played Savile in that, he nailed it, and it's going to be another one of them. So give the name of it again for everybody.
See No Evil, the Moors Murders. It's available on ITVX. I strongly recommend you watch that.
If you're outside the UK, grab yourself a VPN, NordVPN. We have a deal with them, so go and use. Well, I can't remember the code because I'm a terrible member of staff. Carry on.
So Terry's John's brother Terry said that it depicts the events accurately, and it was his brother that was it's his brother that's actually underneath her feet, you know. So he lived it, and he said it's bang on. So if you want to see it in a dramatized way, then go and check it out. Right. So anyway, what they then had to do is there was loads of pictures. There was lots of pictures. But they then had to try and match up, you know, so get the picture and like try and match up the background.
Yep, forensics.
And then you know what I'm saying, don't you? And then go to that area. Now they spent days searching. They had 3 police forces, and volunteers, members of the there you go, members of the public as well, searching the moors. Now what they've got is like probe sticks, beat sticks, and what they do is like they were told to put them into the ground, dig them in halfway, about 2 foot will do, pull them out and literally smell them.
Oh wow.
And if it smelled like corpse, dead body, let a police officer know.
It's actually really smart. Like,
they
really gross, did this. But really smart.
They did this all day, and they were about to pack up on the first day, and they were finding sometimes they were smelling something, but they dug a little bit, and it was a dead sheep. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. It will be.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Or you know, whatever, it could be any other animal. But a lot of dead sheep. Now they were packing up. Now, annoyingly, Matt, if you're there, who's in the chat, pull up the name of the officer who is the one that found Leslie, please, Matt. Right. So, as they were packing up, there was one officer kind of coming down a hill. And he said he saw something protruding from the ground. And I don't even think he needed to put his stick in, but he shouted down, he said, sir, to Mousy. Inspector Mousy went, I found something. And they're all going, yeah, whatever, just another dead sheep, lad. And he goes, I don't think so, unless this sheep wears clothes.
Yeah, damn.
It's dark, innit? So that's another very powerful line that comes from this case. Like, unless the sheep wears clothes, come and check it out. This was sadly the first discovery made, and it was poor Leslie Ann Downey. She was the first victim that's found on the moors. So they tented it up, and yeah, she'd been missing since Boxing Day. Now, I'm going to go into Leslie's mum now a little bit.
Okay.
Poor lady, Anne West, who spent a lifetime on 25, like I think it's like 25 pills a day, different medication to get through, because she had to not only identify her. Right, I'll tell you what. If you type in, type in Moors Murders mothers, talk about their children.
Okay.
And you'll have John Kilbride's mother talking, and you'll have Anne West talking, and it'll. I mean, the Anne West bit will bring a tear to your eye. Because
I'll see if I can see if I can find a clip. Hang on a second.
you will be able. So it's like a 2-minute video as well, so we can watch it all. Thank you, Matt. The officer that found her was called Bob Spears, so he's the one that found Leslie.
Whoa! If you're wearing earbuds, I apologize. This is some old school footage.
Right.
Mother of
Now
Moors.
this, 1 minute long. So if we can just, first you've got John Kilbride's mother.
Okay.
And then you've got Leslie's mother. So let's listen to this.
Can I just say that video is
sad.
No, listen, that is like one of the most intense depictions of how people cope differently with grief and the loss. Because I'm telling you now, I ain't never in my life.
It's haunting.
That is going to stay with me forever. And a lot of the time on both sides, when it comes to murder, PDF files, there is the victim's family and then the unknowing family of the monster. And 9 times out of 10, people have nothing's going on. And the impact on families is insane, but I've never seen anything like this. And I swear to God, the little drummer boy and that face is now. You know what, Mr. Baldwin? It's not even that she looks destroyed. I've never seen a human look like that. That is a whole new index for me, bro. I mean, you're not wrong.
Do you want me to tell you why she's in that state? Not just because obviously you've got 3 mothers there, okay, and obviously Anne's how Anne is there is much more traumatized, because now this is where like the police didn't have to do this, right? So basically she identified Leslie's body, okay? She identified her in a morgue, right? Like John was identified. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. We've got a clip with Terry, but she identified her body. Now, if that's not bad enough, right? I'm trying not to swear too much, right? It grinds my gears. Identifying the body is not bad enough, right? Do you know what they then made her do?
I think I just spoiled your reveal here.
With that comment there.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's perfect timing. I don't mind you doing that. She then had to listen to her 10-year-old. Now, I've got a 10-year-old daughter. This is why it really, like, try not to swear still. It messes me up, because I got a 10-year-old daughter and she was 10. Now, she had to listen to her daughter not only being tortured, but she was begging for a mother. You've got children, Ron. Imagine hearing like your children begging for daddy. She even called Myra mummy. She called Brady daddy, because she was trying to get to that more maternal nature, that she didn't have, because she was a see you next Tuesday. But even calling Brady daddy, trying anything. So they made her listen to that tape, and I mean, you know what? Like, she died in '99, and like, do you know, she must have lived. Like I said, she was on like 20 pills a day. I got that wrong, but she was on 11 different types of medication. Must have lived a life of torture. But not only that, though, the reason why this is the saddest case for me is that not only was she she was the youngest, she was a little girl, she got tortured, but that mother had to listen to the tape, and her brother Terry, who I met once. There's 2 Terry, not to be confused, people. There's Terry Kilbride and there's Terry West. Terry Kilbride is John Kilbride's brother. Terry West is Leslie Ann Downey's brother. Now, Terry was supposed to take her to the fair. I know I've mentioned this before, but I'll just go over it quickly again.
Oh
He
my
was supposed to
God.
take her to the fair. He came down with flu-like symptoms and he couldn't take her. So she went with a family friend and she was snatched. And he said to the day he died, which was in the last year, if I would have been there, she would not have been snatched.
Oh my
And
God.
he's blamed himself. He's wrote a book called If Only. I would check that out. It's called If Only. It's on Amazon. I've read that book. It's a tearjerker. And he blames himself. Now, when I went to Terry Kilbride's funeral, I was stood with one of the Kilbrides, and they said Terry West is there, and I'd never met him before, and he'd seen my documentary with Terry Kilbride, and I was introduced to him, and you know, it's
Yeah.
you know what you say kind of thing. So I said, hi, I'm Luke. I did the interview with Terry Kilbride, and I've never looked at someone before and felt like and felt like emotion, like real sad emotion, because of
Yeah.
how
It's real.
tortured they look.
Yeah.
And he looked, oh mate, like it's like he's constantly got tears in his eyes. So he blamed himself, and he's been. It's you can tell someone a billion times not to think something, but
Yeah.
he
And
did.
it's not going to work. That's so sad.
Now, moving on then. So this is when they found a picture. Do you know that picture of Myra? If you go back to that picture of Myra, the one where she's on the grave, sorry. That one there. Right, now there's actually a bigger one. It might not even be available, but there was a rock formation in the background. And it was quite it's quite recognizable, this rock formation. You can drive past the moors now, you'll see the rock formation. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus.
Now, I think one of Malsey's police officers, a female police officer under him, they were all searching the moors, and she got this picture, and she was stood there, and she's looking at the photo, and she looks up, and she looks down, and she's like, fuck. She was there. She was virtually on the grave. Looked up at the rock formation, looked at the picture, and it was the same. She called over Mousy, and she went, "Sir," and I think this is it. He then used that stick that I mentioned before, put that into the ground. Again, it's all depicted in a drama way on See No Evil, the Moors Murders, and he pulled the stick out and smelt, corpse, and all he had to do, he got down on his hands and knees, and all he had to do was basically kind of, scoop dirt with his hands.
Yeah, damn.
And he latched onto a shoe. Excuse me. He latched onto a shoe, and he pulled it. He was pulling, and he pulled the shoe out of the ground. And that is actually the shoe that they took to the Kilbride's house to identify him. He may have been, unidentifiable. So they took the shoe. Now, if you go over to that clip, which I timestamped for you before.
Okay, 1 second.
If you make that big screen, yeah. So again, this whole interview, which is one of the only full insight interviews out there with a victim's family member.
Wow.
Out there. This is on my channel, so please go and check it out. So yeah, once the Winkle Picker shoe was found, I'll let Terry say the rest. Press play, mate.
I'm just making sure I share it across all the platforms, and we're pressing play.
Thank you, mate.
Whereabouts on the moors was John found, and how was he identified?
A shoe.
A shoe?
A shoe, a Winkle Picker shoe, with an hole in it, with a piece of cardboard inside.
Was the cardboard there to make him was that to strengthen?
To try and stop it leaking.
Do you know where the shoe is now?
Oh, the archives now. I mean, the night they brought it home, we we got kicked upstairs, all of us. Well, we thought we were upstairs. We were sat halfway on the stairs, you know.
Listening.
Apart from Danny. You know, with him being the oldest lad then.
Yeah.
When John had gone missing, you know, and they found the shoe, and my dad said he could stay in the room. You know, while they identified the shoe and everything.
I bet you insisted. He
He
insisted
did
on that,
insist.
didn't
Danny did insist, yeah. He did insist.
I collect.
What was the emotion when you realised it was John's shoe? Was there any relief there at all?
It's hard. It was hard. I mean, I were only a kid, so I'm thinking, is he or isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My mum only told me and Pat. Well, Danny had told us first, you know what I mean? But my mum only told me and Pat. She didn't tell the girls until a few weeks after.
Do you remember how your parents instantly reacted?
Oh, I remember my dad screaming.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. My dad screaming. Not my mum. Not my mum. I think it was that much of a shock, or she knew it was coming. You know what I mean?
Almost like she was preparing for this moment, but your dad was still clinging on.
Well,
Some hope.
It was a scream off my dad.
Is it a scream you've never heard before off him?
Well, that weren't my dad, like I say. He was an hard man. He was, you know, he won't even scream if we were getting his head kicked in.
Is there any police or inspectors who you feel went above and beyond, and you'd like to mention?
This is about Mousy.
Give him a bit of a shout out.
Respect to Mousy. Ian Farley.
But Inspector Mousy went above and beyond.
He did go a bit above and beyond. He did.
You got a lot of respect for him.
Oh yeah.
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 I can tell.
Plenty of respect for him.
After John was discovered
Dude, that is unbelievable.
I admit, can you just to say? Do you know at the beginning when even we became such good friends, me and him, and the rapport would just kind of just started straight away, because at the beginning of that clip, I said to him, "What was the cardboard there for?" I said, "Was that to make him taller?" And he has a little laughter, and he goes, "To stop it leaking." And we
I
immediately
knew
had
exactly
this.
what that was for. Sadly,
We had this nice rapport straight away, and genuinely, I've always said, all this, the Madeleine McCann video did 500,000 views, all the Nicola Bully stuff, like great, right? But this interview here, this is my proudest piece of work, bar none, and I'll always be forever grateful to Terry for giving me an insight, and rest in peace to him.
that is fantastic, Luke. And honest to God, this is one thing that I don't understand. You know, it's funny as a YouTuber, you expect certain things to just explode, and then things that you don't expect to explode. And what I'd really like to do is each time Luke's on is, can everybody just take 1 second, right? Consider this an advert, if you will. Can we all just take 1 second to go to Luke's channel and subscribe? On
that playlist, you know, we go to the place where John was took from, the plaque. I tell you what, we've got half an hour. If you could go onto that, go onto the playlist.
Okay, 1 second.
I travelled down to Ashton to meet up with the brother of John Kilbride, Terry Kilbride. So we did a lot together. What is a very special occasion for their family.
Yeah, that's amazing.
A memorial plaque has been erected in Ashton Market so that we'll never, ever forget John. And this is Terry's first time seeing it. This year marks the 60th anniversary of when the sadistic MOORS murderers, Myra Hindley and Ian Brady, set out on their evil murdering spree that took the lives of 5 innocent children. This November marks the 60th anniversary of when a young local lad named John Kilbride was savagely stolen from a market in Ashton. He was simply trying to earn some pocket money to support himself
and his family. And very recently, a subtle yet beautiful plaque has been erected in Ashton Market to commemorate the life and the memory of John Kilbride. He is not to be forgotten. I'm now joined by the brother of John Kilbride, Mr. Terry Kilbride. How are you, sir?
Okay, look, you.
Good, really good. Nice to see you.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It's our kid.
Yeah.
Norman.
Yes.
I'd like to thank the people who made the plaque, and to Gary and Barry who put the plaque up.
Yeah.
And a big thanks to Councillor John Taylor for all the help he gave having the plaque erected here.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an absolute brilliant tribute to John.
Yeah.
And his name will never ever die. Anyone that didn't know about it now can see it for themselves.
Future generations will know
Future generations
about John Kilbride. Yeah.
His name will never die, like Brady and Indoors will fade away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We need to remember the victims of the MOORS murders and not the perpetrators of the MOORS murders.
There was not only John.
No.
You know, there was 5 altogether.
Would you like to commemorate them?
Pauline, Leslie Ann Downey, our John, of course, Keith Bennett, and Edward Evans.
Rest in peace to all of those. They'll never be forgotten.
And I think they should all have a plaque put up.
I think so.
In the area of where they went missing from.
Yeah.
Like John has here at Ashton Market.
Yeah.
I can't thank Ashton Council enough for putting that up.
And also as well, it's not over the top, is it?
No.
It's nice and subtle. It's beautiful. It's made out of a really nice stone.
It's in the right place, just off Bow Street where John went missing from. You know.
Bow Street's just around the corner. As those doors are opening, that's Bow Street. In loving memory of John Kilbride, age 12, taken from Ashton Market in 1963, found and laid to rest in November 1965. Love from family and friends.
Yeah, and that's just right. Family and friends.
60
because
years.
It's friends and everybody that has erected it. It's everyone in the Tameside area and beyond.
Yeah.
You know, that know.
Can you believe it's been 60 years? I bet, is that flown by?
I can't with my health and how old I am now, yeah.
It's still going. It's still
going.
Still going.
Still going.
I bet that time has it gone slow? Has it gone fast?
It's been an
hard 60 years.
Hard 60 years with what we've got to put up with, and you know what we've got to delve into to stop things being done with their logos on, and all the stands on the with Brady and Henley on it, and a lot of stuff. Records being taken off shelves and things like that when it was vinyl records.
Back
in the day, yeah.
Even before my day, that really.
You know, there was a lot.
Well, as those two rot in hell, people like John and Leslie and
live on.
Keith and Edward and Pauline, they will live on.
They will live on in everybody's memory.
Yeah, we'll always remember them. We'll always commemorate them.
Yeah, it was nice. I nearly broke up from the book.
If anybody who is interested in the MOORS murders case or interested in paying tribute to John, this is in Ashton Market, just inside of the sliding doors at Bow Street. As soon as you walk in, this is just to the left. So if you want to come in, take a moment, stand next to it, have a moment of silence. You can sit down, you can, gather your thoughts and remember the life of John Kilbride. He was 12 years old. His life was short, but I'm sure Terry is going to back this up. His life was happy.
To me, he's like I've had a brother there all the time.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the go all the time.
like our Danny did.
Yeah.
On the go all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
All the family, really, you know. And it's been a slog.
I bet it has.
It has been a slog. You know, but the love's there.
Yeah.
And the love in this area all around us.
Everyone knows John.
Yeah.
Everyone knows John Kilbride. You can tell it's emotional for you.
One thing never forgotten, isn't it?
Realness.
Hey,
We're going having a brew.
To John. To John, yeah.
Yeah.
To John.
To John.
Yeah, man. That was epic. That really was epic. I mean, I really don't know what to say after that, bro, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. This whole series, every episode has left me with an impact, and the mother, and of course, John Kilbride's brother, Terry. Another one, man. Another one. It really is.
They were tried at Chester Assizes, now Chester Crown Court, in 1966 for the murders of Edward Evans, Leslie Ann Downey, and John Kilbride. And they narrowly avoided the death penalty. It was only months before the trial that it was abolished. The jury took about 2.5 hours to come to unanimous decision.
Yeah.
And Brady was given 3 life sentences, and she was given 2 life sentences. One for Leslie Ann Downey, because the evidence was there on the tape. One for Edward Evans.
Yeah.
And she was given 7 years for being an accessory after the fact for John Kilbride's murder. So that was it. They got their multiple life sentences. They were sent down. It's not the end of the story, though, as a lot of people will know. We then have got, in the next episode, we're going to talk about their incarceration. Myra Hindley always protesting her innocence. Brady went on hunger strike and went to a mental health hospital. And then in the 80s, when they admitted to 2 more murders, which was Keith Bennett and Pauline Reed, and why she admitted to it, because her hand was forced, because she's so manipulative and all about herself.
Yeah.
And then him never giving up Keith Bennett's location, the search for Keith all this time, basically everything, how the families have had to cope. Talking furthermore about Terry and his families, what they've had to do, campaigns to keep them inside, TV shows, that Mercy for Myra, trying to give her parole. So it's all going to be about what came after they were incarcerated.
Did your mum and dad drift, or did they get stronger?
They drifted.
That's so sad.
They drifted apart.
Did you become closer with your parents afterwards, yourself, personally? Did the relationship change at all? Did the dynamic change? Did it get better?
My mum went into it. She went into herself, my mother, and she stayed like that until, I'd say, into her 60s.
Oh, she seemed like a really sweet lady.
To speak a bit, about different things, but she was a very, very, very sweet lady, my mother. No matter who you speak to will say that.
Now, speaking of Brady and Hindley, did you want them to face the death penalty? Or are you glad that they went to prison?
At the time.
The time.
Because it had not long been abolished.
I believe it was 6 months before they were on trial, the death penalty was abolished.
Yeah, it weren't long.
In sort of a way, is it kind of a good thing that they missed the death penalty, because we wouldn't have Pauline Reed?
We wouldn't have found Pauline.
Does it help knowing that John wasn't the only victim of these crimes, and that 4 other families had the similar grief?
No, that doesn't help at all. I mean, that hurts, that, because of what we went through. all of us, always alive and still going through it,
Yeah.
even now, they've all gone through that.
Yeah, that's
All the families have gone through it.
yeah, that's an interesting answer. That you'd rather it be it's for other families having the same pain
It's
as
for the
yourself.
there's 5 victims.
Yeah, and 5 victims, 5 victims' families
5
grieving.
victims' families grieving all at the same period of time and everything. We're still all grieving. I feel really sorry for Alan, you know, his family.
Like Keith's brother, Alan
Yeah,
Bennett.
because he can't have closure.
Would finding Keith bring you closure?
I think it'd close the book.
Yeah.
It would close the book. It would never ever stop because there could be another book.